Welcome back here for Game 3, the rubber match between the Georgia Southwestern Hurricanes and the host, Augusta Jaguars. Hurricanes take Game 2 by a final score of 4-0 behind the strong effort on the mound by Piper McCard. Starting us off, your lineup for the Hurricanes. Batting first, playing third base, Aaron Garland. Batting second in center field, Madison Banks. Batting third, the second baseman, Kendall Hulsman. Batting fourth, playing first base, Madison Griffiths. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Laney Dansby. Batting sixth in right field is Simone Gillespie. Batting seventh, behind the plate, Peyton Namazlowski. Batting eighth, playing left field, Riley Ernst. And batting ninth, the designated player, Amelia Angier. And on the mound for the Hurricanes will be Jacqueline Burns. Goes by Jackie. And on the mound for the Jaguars, number 22, Maddie Spinks. Spinks making her 9th start of the year, the team lead. And first pitch misses low for ball one. We are underway. One 1-0 pitch from Spinks finds his own.
You know, Darren, Maddie reminds me a lot of Piper, the Hurricanes' first or last pitcher.
Yeah, Piper McCard.
Yeah, Piper did a great job of keeping hitters off balance and mixing up her locations and her speeds very well. And that tends to be Maddie's MO. It's been a solid number 2 for the Jags. Hopefully we can get a similar result.
Yeah, Jags opting to go with Kristen Ezzo after her strong no-hitter against Middle Georgia in the previous series, opting to go Maddie Spinks in Game 3. Typically we see it Ainsley Gibson Game 1, Spinks, and then Ezzo.
You're right.
This one chopped over to shortstop. Kaylin Scaff gets the start. Strong throw to first and beats Aaron Garland to the plate, to the bag, excuse me.
I think we may have gotten one there.
Yeah, that one.
I think we got a gift.
Typically you see those go the way of the offense, but we see Kaylin Scaff, strong throw, getting the start. Getting the start at shortstop.
That's a tricky one there.
Yeah, it happens. Grace Bailey getting Game 3 off today.
Scaff made a great play in the hole there. Deep throw and a great stretch there by Terrell, but it looked like she may have beaten the throw, but we'll take it.
That one finds the outside part of the plate, and Madison Banks in the 2-hole quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes here. Saw how aggressive Madison Banks is on the bases. Really, this entire Hurricanes lineup, like very aggressive secondary leads and big leads. They didn't steal much, but when they did, they're halfway down the line by the time anybody can react. Madison Banks trying to work back in the count. Gets it even, 2 balls, 2 strikes here.
It's a great off-speed pitch there.
Good off-speed. Ground over to Eden Parker. And they say Madison Banks beat it out. Wow. Maybe a makeup call there.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Banks with great speed, of course. But looked like Parker beat her there. So maybe returning the favor there, the first base umpire.
I think we might be even.
Yeah.
Parker made it, yeah. Strong throw there. Great stretch.
Like you said, and kind of to touch it back on your point with Piper McCard, the comparison to Maddie Spinks. Maddie Spinks, again, she's not going to overpower you necessarily, but she does throw a great variety, and her off speed is, I mean, some of the best that I've seen.
I would, as she busts her inside there.
That one runs inside, trying to back Kendall Hulsman off the plate.
I would categorize her as crafty, and that I don't mean that as an insult. It's just using all of your arsenal to be able to get them out any way you can.
Yeah, I think a good way to word it. I mean, she's a pitcher, like not just
right.
I don't want to do it, but to do an MLB comparison, you have a guy like Aroldis Chapman, who he's gonna overpower you. Like he's throwing it 102, 103, as 4-pitch walk there to Kendall Hulsman. Runners now at first and second with 1 out. But Aroldis Chapman, and not to discredit him, he's one of the best relief pitchers of all time, in my opinion.
But he's straight and gas.
Exactly. And if you can hit his fastball, you can hit Aroldis Chapman. But as we have a mound visit here, the Hurricanes also going to have a meeting. Yeah,
if you're the Jags here, you know you lost the last game 4-0, and your bats were pretty silent. And again, that all the credit to Piper there in that game. But you don't want to then start this game off going down early. So they're probably just settling Maddie down a little bit and talking about where they're going to go with the ball in the infield. You know, you got Force at third, and maybe where they're going to pitch her. And
likely we see, and we will, corners of the infield playing in.
Yeah, the corners pinch in.
Guarding for the bunt.
Which means you've got to have a wheel on. Your short will need to cover third on any kind of bunt like that.
It is Madison Griffiths to the plate, who we saw homer straightaway center to put on the 4th and final run. This one back to Spinks, just gets by the glove, but Kaylin Scaff recovers, makes the throw, and it essentially works as a bunt.
Right.
Runners advance. Won't go down as a sacrifice. But runners advance now at second and third here with 2 outs.
That's an effective out, though. You know, you get the runners in scoring position, and you give your next hitter a chance to get one in. Or a wild pitch, as we saw in Game 1, can get a run in.
First pitch, Lainey Dansby takes a hack. Fouls it off home plate. Dansby had a double back in Game 2.
Yeah, you know, going back to that home run in the last game, I was out there with one of our cameras, and it almost looked like a ground rule double. That's wedged between the fence and the hedge, and I know that's what the umpires were talking about when they had a meeting, but it's one of the wackier home runs I've seen here.
Yeah, that one, as it happened, which I might have had a better view than Davis, because Davis obviously has kind of the equipment and stuff. It looked like the umpire ruled ground rule double. Like it looked like he ruled
two bases. Ran right by him like it's a home run, and then they talked about it.
Which, I mean, again, I think the call ended up making sense and being correct.
Yeah, I think so.
If it's in the bushes, it's a home run. As we have 0-2 here to Dansby, just gets a piece, stays alive in the count. But yeah, typically, I mean, it should be a home run. It's just the ruling of the umpire kind of threw me for a loop.
Well, see, Maddie here, you got her chasing outside on a lower ball now. You see, maybe if she changes her height here. Yeah, she tried to go up.
Yeah.
She didn't chase.
Spinks and her location when she's dialed in, some of the best that we have seen.
I think her, just in the games that I've observed, one of her Achilles heels has been that just avoiding the big inning.
Right, yeah.
And that usually coincides with walks. So, I mean, that's generally the case with any pitcher.
Also does tend to get, I think, maybe not under pressure, but when the game is out of hand, she can kind of start to lose focus a bit.
Oh,
Oh
That
my,
was a great
what
pitch.
a pitch from Maddie Spinks on the inside corner. And Dansby is rung up. Jaguars escape the top of the first. They allow no runs and head to the bottom of the first, looking to get on the board. Leading off here for the Jaguars, second baseman Sam Tenner. First pitch into Sam Tenner, going to miss inside. Facing Jackie Burns, the sophomore out of Noonan, Georgia. Burns, making her fourth start of the year, enters with a 3-2 record, 5.25 ERA.
We were talking before the game, this game, that Tenner
This
had a
one
couple of
lined,
liners.
yeah, this one lined right on cue.
Yeah.
Off the glove of the first baseman, Griffiths, and a base hit to start the game for Sam Tenner.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there.
No.
She seems to be seeing the ball well, and just was a little unlucky in the last game where she hit a couple liners, but just happened to be where people were. But that one was a great inside-out swing and got through the hole.
Maddie Spinks to the plate now, batting in the 2-hole. Actually, almost exact deja vu. If you remember the first out of Game 2, well, Game 1 of the doubleheader, it was a line out to Griffiths. So that one, she gets her revenge, per se. That one, Spinks unable to connect. Count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike.
Coach Mo's MO, she's very much a small ball coach, trying to manufacture runs, get bunts, get runners over. It's kind of a different game than what you're used to, trying to wait for home runs and big hits. And to me, honestly, it's a more enjoyable game to watch.
I was going to say, to touch on that point, I mean, now you see it's all about homers, power, but she has a real, I mean, and she's a seasoned vet, 28 seasons of coaching. And I think, she kind of stays true to her philosophy. This one's back to the pitcher, Burns. Tenner retired at second. Spinks beats it out at first. But, she's very true to her beliefs and very confident, as she has been very successful as a head coach. But I think she plays to her team's strength. Obviously losing Bailey Roberts from last season as well, who, I mean, you're losing your best offensive player.
Right.
Also, Bobby Poff gone. So,
although Parker has been a nice. Certainly not the average of Roberts yet, but certainly has the power capability, and she's, I think, only a freshman?
Only a freshman, Eden Parker, Eden Parker's been excellent. And you say not the average, 375 entering last game.
Oh, wow.
obviously no hit in game 2 of
My
the
apologies,
series.
Eden.
But yeah, Eden Parker has really made up for it. I feel like she started the season off kind of slow. She had the pop, but now is kind of putting it all together.
She certainly must watch. I enjoy watching her hit.
This one driven into shallow left field will get down for a base hit off the bat of Ansley Gibson. The team leader in average stays hot. Runners now at first and second here with one out.
Well, it's kind of nice. I don't think we got 2 hits last game,
Yep.
or at least we have 2 in the outfield.
We have
our hit was a bunt.
We have double our hits
Yeah.
Here through 3 batters, so
Which is encouraging if you're a Jags fan.
and it does bring up the third baseman Eden Parker here. First pitch
She got
swings
jammed.
to center field. It will be just a fly out off the bat of Parker. And we'll bring up left fielder Sydney Gilbert.
Yeah, it looked like Eden was a little over anxious on that one and chased the first pitch, and it was running in on her hands, and it was just a good pitch. Got jammed a little bit.
First pitch to Gilbert, big swing, and goes for strike 1. Gilbert batting .292, 9 RBI. A 1 pitch from Burns, gonna miss low and inside. Similar situation to what the Hurricanes had in the top of the first. This one's driven into right center field. Madison Banks drifts over, makes the play. And as I mentioned, Jaguars get out of a jam in the top of the first, and the Hurricanes face a little bit of traffic on the bases and escape the bottom. So we head to the top of the second, all squared at 0-0.
Athletics are a winning combination. Visit janiking.com today. Leading off for the Hurricanes, right field number 10, Simone Gillespie.
Top of the second here, and Simone Gillespie into the box. First pitch. Spinks goes for the off speed, off the plate, and misses for ball 1. That one's back in the zone. One thing you noticed while we were on the break, Spinks coming from the left side, it's a different look. I mean, obviously, being a lefty is pretty much an advantage in nearly, I feel like, every sport, but baseball, that one check swing from Gillespie is ruled a swing and strike. But it gives batters a different look.
Yeah, like I know there are some right-handers in softball that can throw a screwball, and the ball that's running in on your hands as a right-handed hitter is very difficult to hit, but for a left-handed pitcher, the curve has the same effect. And like a screwball is harder to throw, I think, but that curveball, it's to right-handed hitters is running in on their hands and cutting in, and as long as you don't leave it over the plate, kind of like that.
This one's driven to tenor. Nice play made.
Yeah, good play.
And Gillespie is retired. Put a good swing on it, but unfortunately, right at Sam Tenor.
Number 18, Peyton Nemezlowski.
Brings up Peyton Nemezlowski. Good spot there from Spinks, just going to miss away. Spinks targeting the outside part of the plate pretty early in these counts.
It's a good job not to chase on that, but
Really
that was a good pitch.
A really good take. I thought we were going to get an appeal down to the first base umpire, but no appeal, and count goes to 2-0.
See, that's what she threw that ball. First ball was outside, and then the second was an off-speed pitch, and the delivery is good because they look the same, and it was low, and that one is a rise ball up, and it's just a good changing of the eye level there. She comes back with a rise ball there for the ball, but the idea of what she's doing, talking about her craftiness, is she's mixing up her locations well, trying to keep them off balance.
Goes for the off speed again. This one over the heart of the plate. Nemezlowski frozen.
Yeah, so now she has options because she's going to be thinking about that off speed pitch, and she's looked at it twice. So she can either come back with a rise ball or come back with it.
Targets the outside part of the plate. Nemezlowski sitting on it. Nevaeh Ross actually nearly had a play at first. Overthrows Peyton Terrell, that is, getting the start at first. Overthrows Terrell. Sophie Baker backing it up, so no harm. And a nice at-bat there, both from pitcher and hitter. Nemezlowski taking some tough pitches.
I think Maddie would want that last pitch back. She left it over the meat of the plate a little bit, but definitely the right idea.
Now brings up Riley Ernst, who had a great game too. Reached base twice.
Did I hear you say she's from California?
Sacramento, California. Yeah, so a transfer from Sierra College as well, the senior.
Spinks quickly ahead, no balls, 2 strikes here.
Probably see her go just right back fastball.
If I remember correctly, I think she had a tendency of chasing or outside balls.
Yeah, I do remember. There was one specific at bat. It was late in the game earlier today. A lot of low and away. She would like that, exactly like that. Low and away, she kind of had a tendency to just kind of throw the bat out there.
That was a good pitch, though. She did a good job of fighting that one off.
I feel like she earns maybe just a tad behind. Wouldn't be shocked to see Spinks try to go kind of inside here.
Up and in would be, if she wants to get her to chase, maybe try. She went back out.
Grounded over to Parker. Little indecision, but does throw on to second. Nemezlowski is retired. Ernst makes it to first base with 2 outs.
She did a good job there. She was waiting for the second baseman to get to the bag. Had to make a good throw because of that hesitation, but good job getting the lead runner.
Now 2 outs here. Back to the top of the lineup. Excuse me. No, we are not. We are at Amelia Angier, batting in the 9-hole here. We did not see her in Game 2. She did lead off Game 1. This one's grounded over to Sam Tenner. And Angier is retired, so just the one base hit allowed by Maddie Spinks. Namazowski reaches, and that is all for the Hurricanes. We head now, bottom of the second. Jags look to take the lead.
Leading off the second for the Jaguars, first baseman number 27, Peyton Terrell.
The first baseman, Peyton Terrell, getting the start here in the final game of the series. Steps to the plate. This one grounded over to shortstop on the first pitch. Second base, excuse me, that is not the shortstop. Nice play made, however, by Hulsman.
She slipped on that. Still managed to get the out.
One pitch, one out, and brings up the lone base hit for the Jags. That one's line foul.
From the last game.
From the last game, excuse me, yes. Nevaeh Ross had the bunt single to lead off the 6th inning.
I was asking you guys off air if you thought I was Bush League to bunt to break up a perfect game.
This
I was
one
ripped.
driven into left center field and will hop off the wall. Nevaeh Ross rounds first and slides into second. One out double off the bat of Nevaeh Ross, her third of the year. Now to touch on, is it Bush League to bunt?
I think it kind of is, but not when you're down 3. I think the game's still within reach.
Yeah, if you're getting blown out and you do it. Yeah, if you're getting blown out, like, you're just being petty at that point. But again, at that point it was a 3-run ball game, so
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I don't hate the call.
No.
You know, I mean, do I think they probably should have done it earlier? Yeah. And again, it's of course unfortunate for Piper McCard, who loses the perfect game on a bunt single.
Ooh, that was a tough pitch there.
That, outside part of the zone, Scaff took it, thought it was ball 1, instead it's strike 2.
Well, and as we saw in that hit, that double by Ross, she has the wheels, so you want to get her on as any way possible.
Yeah, Nevaeh Ross, senior now, has, recently always been one of the better Jaguars at the plate. Has started off a bit slow, entered game 2. This one's right back up the middle from Kaylin Scaff. Nevaeh Ross rounds third and will come home to score. Scaff advances to second on the throw, and the Jaguars take the lead. Nice job there, hitting with 2 strikes by Scaff.
And right on cue. I don't know. If I'm the coach, I'm a little – I think the center fielder needs to have a little awareness there, knowing that Ross is really fast. And that ball maybe should have gone to second instead of home.
Yeah, just
To preserve a force at second and to keep the runner out of scoring position.
you're right. Yeah, no, just completely did not consider the cutoff there, and throws all the way home. And
That would have
it's
had to
Scaff.
have been an absolute perfect throw to get Ross.
Yeah, I'm typically, I played outfield in high school, so I'm typically team all the way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, right there, probably the correct decision is to hit your cutoff, as they say, as you were coached.
Yeah, I'm no expert. I did coach my daughter's travel team,
Okay.
and I'm all about being aggressive, but on defense, sometimes you have to concede the run and try to preserve outs
Yep.
or availability options of outs, I should say.
Because now you bring up Chesney Miles. So that one's in for strike one. Count at 2 balls, 1 strike. But Chesney Miles, one of the better overall bunters and position
She's quick,
movers.
too.
Yep, she's very capable of laying a good one down and beating it out.
Going back to Ross and here with Chesney, so far this season, I've been really impressed with their defense. Chesney reads the ball well off the bat and is always making good lines to the ball. And Ross has just had some spectacular plays as well. I mean, a couple of assists from the outfield, kind of overthrew first base on that one, but
Yeah.
nothing hurt. But just their defense has been invaluable.
Yeah, it's very good awareness as well. Just kind of knowing the situation, like Ross even taking the chance to know, as this one's grounded over to second,
She
advances the runner to third. But yeah, like you were saying, no, and Chesney Miles' range in the outfield as well. It's like anything that kind of is in her
Yeah.
radius from right center, left center,
Yeah, she's got it.
you feel pretty confident. Brings up Sam Tenner. And we are going to have a pitching change here.
Already. Wow.
And it is the game 1 starter, who we saw a very strong effort from as well, Kaylee Johnson, going to take the mound here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
That's surprising. That's a quick hook. Considering, there's 2 outs in the inning, only 1 run. I mean, Tenner, she's been seeing the ball well and hitting well, but and certainly she pitched a fabulous game in the first game, but a little surprising.
Yeah, it's very interesting too to make the switch back to somebody that they've already seen. So you kind of think like, okay, we've seen Kaylee Johnson here before. Maybe we can kind of pick up on her pitches a little bit better.
Yeah.
Which, she only allowed 4 hits. But with anything, the more you see it, the more you're going to get used to it and can kind of adjust.
I don't know, maybe if you're the Hurricanes coaches, you're thinking, well, the Jags didn't hit very well in the last game. They didn't hit well in the first game, but they've put good bat on the ball in this one, so they're already seeing the ball well, and I suspect they're thinking it might be a close game, and they've got to do whatever they can to keep the score down. But still, with 2 outs it's not good for your confidence as a pitcher to be pulled in the second inning with a 1-run lead,
Right.
or just a 1-run deficit.
Yeah. First pitch there to Tenner is swung on and missed for strike 1. Good off speed from Johnson. Kind of got Tenner out in front, and a pop-up
I guess that's why you make the switch.
to the shortstop. Yep, to the shortstop, Lainey Dansby. The Jags only strike for 1 off of the Nevaeh Ross double into the Kaylin Scaff RBI single. So we head to the top of the third. Southwestern looking to even it up. They trail 1-0.
Leading off for Georgia Southwestern, third baseman number 21, Aaron Garland.
And now we're back to the top of the order. Third baseman Aaron Garland facing against Maddie Spinks now. First pitch from Spinks in. Gonna miss low. As we have the third base umpire gonna call time.
I didn't see the pitch. I was looking at a stat sheet. Wondering if he's talking to her about maybe quick pitching or some kind of balk move. But
Yeah, I mean, we see it typically in baseball more often than softball, but you have to make eye contact with the batter. But I assume that the conversation was,
that's something.
hey, there's got to be some eye contact. And typically the home plate umpire is the one who makes that call, so to see it from the third base umpire is interesting. Back in the zone for Maddie Spinks, count at 1-2.
Well, we've seen a number of hitters, just right-handed hitters, frozen on that drop ball. It just dives right across the plate. It's really an effective pitch for her.
Goes back outside, unable to get the call there. Pretty good spot.
Yeah, they look good.
Garland does a good job to take it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Excuse me, count is at 3-1, so they did give her a ball for that first pitch. That one grounded to Scaff.
Scaff does a good job just eating that. She wasn't going to get the runner to first, so.
Yeah, Garland, good speed. That one kind of just deep in the hole and deep enough for Garland to beat it out at first. So they did rule that first pitch a ball, which kind of caused, 2-2 and 3-1 are 2 very different counts. So
yeah.
Madison Banks goes for the bunt and pops it straight back to Sophie Baker there.
You know, slap hitters do this sometimes, and it's like a kind of a slap bunt, like drag bunt, and I'm not a fan of it. I know you're trying to catch the defense off guard, but you tend to drop the bat on that.
This one driven to right field. Nevaeh Ross.
Foul.
Thought we might have seen her lay out there, but
yeah, she had a good beat on it, but it was a little out of reach. Anyway, just to finish that thought, as you're dragging, you have to be mindful of keeping the bat level and up so you don't drop your hands and then pop it up just as that happens. So it's fortunate for the Jags.
0-1 count here from Spinks. Runner takes off. Garland.
Oh, what a throw.
What a throw from Sophie Baker, like you said, and Aaron Garland thrown out at second.
Just a laser. Holy moly. You know, you were talking about how they were getting good leads in the first couple games and just not stealing much, and I think that's the reason why.
Yeah, Sophie Baker, they haven't really tested the arm much today, and we know she not afraid to try to back pick you at first, or she's very confident in her arm.
I mean,
And we see why.
perfect throw.
Yeah, we see why. Right back in the zone for Maddie Spinks. And quickly,
Yeah.
what a turn in the inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs here. To Kendall Hulsman.
Hurricanes had a little momentum now, and it's all but gone. That's off her foot.
Yeah, and I kind of question, I mean, I guess I get it, but I question the decision with your best hitter at the plate. You're trying to get aggressive, I understand, but I think you let her hit.
Well, here's the impressive thing, too. Maddie threw an off-speed pitch, and she threw her out on that. I think, you know, they're trying to be aggressive and get a hitter. You know, with your best hitter, you want to have a runner in scoring position, but at the same time,
Yeah.
you got to respect the arm of the catcher. So it was a gamble.
Gamble unsuccessful. That one misses low and count at 2 balls, 2 strikes here. I guess my thing is Hulsman has great power, 9 doubles and 3 home runs. So if she finds a gap and you think, as we see it here, this one gonna actually hang up for Chesney Miles. I thought it had a lot more on it.
No, so the ball's carrying to the right, and she got just under that, and I think the wind knocked it down a little bit. But
so Hulsman retired after the stolen base attempt fails from Aaron Garland. Jaguars hold strong, and they hold the lead heading into the bottom of the 3rd.
Leading off the 3rd inning for the Jaguars, the pitcher, number 22, Madeline Spinks.
Bottom of the 3rd, we see Kaylee Johnson, who took relief of Jackie Burns. Maddie Spinks to the plate here. Goes kind of with the swinging bunt.
that's a slap hit.
And it's a slap single
Yeah.
right at the shortstop.
So Maddie is a slap hitter, and that's what they do. You see it more commonly with left-handed hitters, where because they're already closer to first base, and so they try to slap it, and it just as happened there, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense because they've got to get the ball out quickly because they know you're going to be safe if there's any.
Ansley Gibson tries to lay down the bunt. Unable to make contact, but it's off the mitt of Namazlowski behind the plate, and Maddie Spinks will take second.
And the Hurricanes are arguing that she made contact with that. I didn't think she made contact with it, but I think that's what they're talking about, whether it was foul.
It didn't sound like it to me personally up here, which again, I mean, I have headphones on, so I don't have the best judge on this. We are going to get a discussion amongst the umpires.
Or are they talking about whether she went? Seemed like the Hurricanes were saying she went around.
And it is going to go in as a strike. Yeah, I didn't see what the call was when it was made. I was more so seeing Spinks run, but I guess it was called a ball at first.
Oh, I thought she clearly went around. I
Yeah,
didn't know
actually-
why that was an argument.
I thought it was in the zone, and it was just dropped. But
Well, she went around. She tried to bunt at it.
just like that.
Yeah.
Exactly like that one.
I thought it was just a matter of whether she foul tipped it back. But, I mean, that's 2 pass balls there to put a runner on third.
Yeah, 2 costly mistakes now.
Yeah,
as
I mean,
Spinks at third. Ansley Gibson won't be trying to bunt. Pops this one up. Oh, what a effort by Namislowski.
that's a gift for the Jags. That's a really tough play as a catcher.
Super tough play. Almost thought she could have caught it and kind of held it against the net to
Yeah.
secure it. That's kind of a tricky play. I don't know if I've ever seen that, where it kind of runs you into the net,
Yeah.
but it pops out of the mitt.
And if you're the pitcher, you have to be calling warning here. Oh, here's
And a
redemption.
similar play.
Oh, right.
That one actually did hit off.
Oh, it hit the net?
It hit the top of the net, so back in the box. What a net bat.
Yeah.
2 pass balls. The foul off the mitt, or off the net, and then another one. Johnson looks to retire. Gibson not going down easy. She gets a piece.
Yeah, and it's interesting for Gibson that her mentality has to shift in this at bat. She's trying to get the bunt to get the runner over, and then gets 2 quick strikes, but the runner gets the third. Now she's got to shift to trying to protect the plate.
Stays live here again. Fouls that one off. Ansley Gibson, one of the hardest batters in the PBC to strike out. In her 41 at bats, has only struck out twice.
Wow,
So
that's pretty amazing.
Sam Tenner also 44 at bats, 2 strikeouts, which that's expected of your leadoff batter. And the 0-2. Gibson does get a piece. They're going to send Maddie Spinks.
Safe.
And she's in safely. Great base running by Maddie Spinks and gives herself some insurance.
That was a heck of an at bat, I got to tell you.
I believe they're going to rule it as a fielder's choice no base hit there for Gibson, but she should get the RBI.
Sure. But, I mean, having a shift mentality in that at bat, already being down 0-2 to protect the plate, and then, I mean, the Hurricanes made a great play on it. I mean, they had the infield somewhat in, and, you know, the Jags were running on contact, and but for Gibson to get it to the shortstop, I think if it's third base, she's probably getting the out at home, but she got it just deep enough where a perfect throw had to get her, and it was high, and we were able to slide under it.
Yeah, and it wasn't hit square enough
Right.
for the shortstop to have time to get Spinks at the plate.
Kind of
So
a dribbler.
kind of just worked out perfectly, which it felt like in game 2 or the earlier game today, nothing was going the Jaguars' way.
Right,
Everything
yeah.
they hit was right at a Hurricane.
Yeah, the Canes had good execution on that play. It's just unfortunate that 2 pass balls.
And Maddie Spinks
made it
kind of,
messy.
Maddie Spinks kind of showing off the speed as
Yeah.
well.
Helping her own cause.
Yeah, don't typically see her in a position to either steal. You know, you're trying to make sure she doesn't get hurt or anything.
Right.
As that's your number 2 on the mound.
Well, that's an interesting point, too. A lot of times they'll pinch hit for pinch run for the pitcher or the catcher. And they didn't for Maddie. And I think that's respect for her speed.
Yeah, I think so, and I could be mistaken on this. The softball designated player always kind of throws me for a loop because it's not like a designated hitter on the baseball side. Because obviously you can't pinch run for your DH because you lose it. But in softball, you get the free as Eden Parker lays the bunt down. Nice throw there from Johnson. Parker is retired but does the job.
Left fielder number 18, Sydney Gilbert.
Sydney Gilbert to the plate now. We actually see Kristen Izzo taking the spot and running for Ansley Gibson. This one popped up over on the first base side. Play is unable to be made in foul ground.
She didn't look like she had a good read on that.
Yeah, it looked like playing shallow, maybe playing for the bunt, and then that one just kind of ran away from her. 1-1 to Gilbert.
That was a good pitch.
Finds the top of the zone for a strike.
I think Gilbert was frozen on that. Might have been guessing on a different pitch, or maybe it was a location.
1-2 from Johnson, swung on and missed. And Gilbert heads back to the dugout. 2 outs now for the Jaguars. Runner on second, and it brings up the first baseman, Peyton Terrell.
First baseman number 27, Peyton Terrell.
Big swing and miss there from Terrell.
She wanted all of that.
She's another one, I think, one of the more free swingers in the lineup. I'd say her, Nevaeh Ross is one, Eden Parker as well, who have this big power, and they aren't afraid to swing it almost anything.
Yeah, that was an effective ball there. This has been a good pitching at bat for Burns. So that first pitch was high and she got her to chase. Then she comes back with a curveball low. Misses with a ball, but then busts her inside for the strike. Goes back high and out.
This one over towards foul ground.
She's giving her different speeds in different locations and switching the eye plane, doing a very effective job at it. So if you're Terrell, you kind of don't have any idea where she's coming.
Goes back outside, and you kind of saw it in the swing.
Yeah,
Peyton Terrell nearly makes it, but is retired. Jaguars add another off of a couple pass balls and a weird at bat. Ansley Gibson brings home Maddie Spinks, and Jaguars extend the lead now 2-0. Head to the top of the fourth. Back here, top of the fourth, we have a discussion between the umpire and head coach, Emma Johansson, for the Hurricanes.
So we were clarifying there's a difference between a courtesy runner and a pinch runner, and generally there is a courtesy runner for a pitcher or catcher.
So that was what we saw. Yeah, we kind of got cut off in that due to I believe that was the Peyton Terrell at bat was right after. We were trying to. Kristen Izzo took second base in to replace Ansley Gibson. So we were kind of trying to understand the difference between what's a courtesy and what's a pinch runner and who can run. But now, good to have that clarified. Maddie Spinks.
But that would make her Izzo as a pinch runner in that regard. And you can only do that for a player once to allow them to re-enter, but then Izzo cannot re-enter the game since she was used as a pinch runner.
Right.
If we're reading the rule correctly.
I believe that sounds good.
But a courtesy runner for a pitcher or a catcher can come in anytime.
And it's interesting because Sophie Baker, who is the catcher, not batting in the lineup. So I don't know if you're burning that or does it switch then to the designated player? I wouldn't think so because that seems kind of like an exception. This one grounded hard to Sam Tenner, fields it on the hop and makes a strong throw.
Yeah, that's textbook play there.
Spinks now has only allowed 3 hits, the 1 walk. Very strong outing now in the 4th inning for Maddie Spinks. Brings up Lainey Dansby.
I mean, similar to Piper, right? In the last game for Georgia Southwestern.
Yes, Piper McCard.
Yeah, McCard. My apologies, but she's mixing up her pitches very well and her locations, and just keeping the Hurricane hitters off balance, and kind of keeping them guessing, so they can't sit on a particular pitch. And the more you have in your arsenal that you can throw for strikes or even just effective balls, just aids you tremendously. And she's throwing strikes today, so she's pitching a good game.
Yet to throw a strike, though, to Lainey Dansby, counting out at 3 balls and no strikes.
Sorry, Maddie, I didn't mean to jinx you.
There's a strike. Catches the outside part. We've seen just a great series overall. This one grounded right back to Sam Tenner. And another nice play, ranging to her left. 2 down here in the top of the 4th.
That's a great job from Maddie coming back in the at-bat, getting down 3-0 and able to get the ground out there. I don't know if that's the pitch you want to chase when you have a 3-1 count. If you're the hitter, I think you might want to let that one go. But
first pitch here to Gillespie. Gonna miss low for ball 1. Well, like I was saying, just a great, there hasn't really been a game that was one-sided at all.
Yeah.
2 very competitive teams, yeah. Which, if you look, entering in the series, obviously Augusta was 3-0 in conference play. Southwestern had got swept by Lander. But I think that record for Southwestern is a false. Again, it's very early in the conference series.
Right.
Southwestern entered with a 9-11 overall record, and they play a bunch of tough out-of-conference games. So,
I mean, if you look by the numbers, it appears these teams are more even than maybe the records suggest. Even though, I mean, we're close to 500 as well.
this one grounded over to first base. Peyton Terrell, 3 groundouts for Southwestern. They are held hitless here in the top of the 4th. We head to the bottom now. Jaguars looking for some insurance. They lead 2-0.
Leading off the 4th inning for the Jaguars. Right there, number 21, Nevaeh Ross.
Nevaeh Ross here to lead us off for the bottom of the 4th. Lines this one. Heads up. We do have some fans over on that left field out of play area. That one does stay in the field of play, but foul ball. 0-1 the count here to Nevaeh Ross. Looked like that one might have got away from Kaylee Johnson.
Yeah, I think I misspoke earlier and said Burns instead of Johnson. Just watching her warm up in between innings, she throws a really nice, it's a curveball. That ball skied high.
This one, a little bit of indecision from the Hurricanes there, but third baseman Garland does make the play.
That ball right there was a rise ball, but she has a real effective movement on this curve. It kind of goes in and tails away from the hand, so it runs away from the hands on a right-handed hitter. And it can be very effective if she starts it inside enough and runs it over the inside corner. But
this one driven into right field, right at Gillespie. She will make the play. Johnson looking for a quick inning of work here. Quickly 2 down for Chesney Miles. The infield does take a few steps in. Miles looks for a bunt, pulls it back. The 1-0 grounded to the left side. Diving stop by Garland. And Chesney Miles beats it to first base.
that was a heck of a play, but Miles just, again, slaps it and is already out of the box, and her speed is good.
Yeah, I feel like if that's...
She threw from her knees, though, just threw a rope.
If that's any other Jaguar, maybe beside Nevaeh Ross or Ayala Howard, you're probably getting her out.
Right.
But Chesney Miles, great speed. Actually slid into first base.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessary. I always worry about players getting injured there.
Goes for the pitch low. Goes a bit too low. Namislowski unable to make the block, and Miles advances. I believe she was stealing on the pitch, so she should get credited with a stolen base there.
Yeah.
That one, too.
I was a little distracted. She's doing a dance out at second base. She's fun to watch. she just has a lot of positive energy.
You can tell she's one who just loves to be out there no matter the score, no matter what's going on. She just enjoys playing.
Great teammate.
Yeah. Tenner right back up the middle, and it
through.
gets by the second baseman, Hulsman. Miles, great speed, lets out a roar, and the Jaguars add to the lead, which now stands at 3-0.
I don't know about you. I think she might be a little excited.
Oh, yeah, she's feeling it.
But then again, you know, there's an example of really good fundamental small ball being played there by the Jags. She slaps a kind of a slow dribbler to third base, able to beat the throw, and she's able to steal second. And then Tenner sneaks one by the second base, who had a good run on it, a good read. But just because of Miles' speed, that ball dribbles through into the outfield, and she was running on contact, and that she's going to score off of that. So not any ball that's hit really hard, but just being smart and fundamental, and you get an insurance run, and it's what you want to see.
And they're actually going to call Sam Tenner out here.
What?
Trying to.
What's the call?
Trying to see if I understand. Let's see if we can get a call here. Back here for the top of the fifth, and that third run actually coming off the board, so ends up being costly for the Jags.
Yeah, so I'm over here talking with our stats guys, and what we think was the call was an illegal substitution or illegal at bat, and that what we think happened is that the wrong number for Sam Tenner was written on the lineup card, and instead of 7, 9 was written down, and so on the lineup card it was incorrect. And why they didn't catch that earlier, I don't know. But anyway, that's so far the ruling we got. Well, if we find out anything else, we'll let you know. But the run in that case doesn't count because the batter's out on an illegal substitution.
Yeah, if that run comes back to be important, which as of right now, the one run doesn't really matter. But hey, that could come back to bite the Jaguars later.
Yeah. It's you don't want runs taken off the board anytime, but when it's on a potential clerical error,
This one grounded over. What a play by Scaff. Throws on to first.
That's a heck of an effort.
That was Namislowski able to beat it out at first. It kind of deflected off the glove of Eden Parker. Scaff fielded it off the hop. Made a pretty good throw, but Namislowski able to beat it at first.
Yeah.
And we are going to see a pinch runner, I do believe. Courtesy runner.
Yes.
Courtesy runner. But yeah, very interesting if that was the rule. And for those who may wonder, oh, why didn't they say something before the at-bat happened? When the at-bat happens, the runner's automatically out. So you're getting a free out regardless of the result. That's why you wait.
Pinch running at first base for Georgia Southwestern, number 24,
Caitlin Centnar. Courtesy runner for Namislowski. And Riley Ernst. In the box, goes to lay the bunt down. It is fouled off.
Yeah, and the way, just going back to your earlier comment, the way Maddie's been pitching, a 3-0 lead feels more insurmountable maybe than a 2-run lead.
It's one run at the end of the day. Kind of like we saw. I mean, we kept saying it back in the game earlier. It's only 2 runs. It's only 3 runs. But eventually, your time's going to run out if you don't do anything. So we'll see what it ends up looking like. Ernst fouls this one off quickly behind 0-2. Ernst, another one of those kind of like slappy hitters. Centnar stands at first. Ernst grounds this one back to Spinks. Throw pulls Peyton Terrell off the bag. And just like that, the potential leading run stands at the plate.
Yeah, certainly a momentum shift. I don't know if a good throw would have gotten her anyway. She seemed to like she might beat that out, but nonetheless, you have nobody out and runners on first and second.
Yeah, Ernst's great speed is able to beat the throw there. And it brings up Amelia Angier.
I used to pitch in baseball, and there is nothing that would irritate me more than to allow runners when a ball just isn't hit very hard. And I mean, it's nothing the Jaguars are doing. It's just they're hitting them in spots that can't get the out.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. So Maddie's got to keep her composure here and try and get an out. Ideally, they want to get the lead runner out.
Angier, freshman out of Peachtree City, Georgia.
So as she's showing bunt, you have your first and third base, Terrell Parker, crashing in, and second and short are crashing to first and third to cover the bags in the event of a force.
There is a swing on that one. Angier fouls it over the Jaguar dugout.
Tenor and Scaff.
On it 1-2. Unlikely we see the bunt here. Spinks trying to go outside and get a chase.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Trying to draw a ground ball, you think. Or a strikeout, of
Yeah,
course.
with only one ball, you kind of have some room to play there.
Southwestern dugout getting rowdy. Spinks steps off the bag, takes a second. The pitch grounded to the shortstop scaff and gets under the glove. So a couple mistakes leads now to bases loaded, no outs. And the lineup flips back to the top, Aaron Garland with the bases loaded.
That was a good hit. Just under the glove. Now here's an interesting discussion. You have a 2-run lead, and you think, okay, we can move the infield in and try to get the out at home plate. In a game where runs have been particularly difficult to come by, you might think about doing that. But then you increase the room for error by pinching the infield in. And as you can see, they've had pretty much infield hits in this inning. Or do you play depth, or maybe you pinch the corners in a little bit, leave the middle infield back a little bit for double play depth. So we'll see what they do here. But if you're the Jags, you want to get an out any way possible. Ideally, you get an out at home. You prevent a run from scoring, but they want an out.
I'm typically, again, I'm no coach, but I'm typically a believer in the normal depth. Like, I wouldn't play bunt coverage, but I also wouldn't play double play depth and pull your players to the middle.
So they're in a little bit. The corners are in a little bit.
Which I think is fine. As long as they're not playing full, this is probably what I would do. Back up the middle, Maddie Spinks to work.
Oh, no.
Gets away from Sophie Baker and play at the plate. Riley Ernst ties the ball game. So another mistake by the Jaguars. The throw from Maddie Spinks kind of brings Sophie Baker.
That's tough. That was a wide throw, but if you're Baker, you got to make that catch.
Yeah, even if it kind of pulls you off the bag, you do have enough time to just get back on it. So
it was in her glove.
And quickly how this game has turned.
Yeah.
What we thought to be a 3-0 game, that run gets pulled off the board, keeps it at 2-0, and I believe that's 3 errors in the inning now. This one into left field. Oh, near effort by Sydney Gilbert.
What a dive.
Just gets away from the glove, but now
I don't know if that ball to Scaff in the hole was an error.
The one that got under, I think it got under the glove, which makes me.
But I don't think she would have gotten her. I think it was just a hit.
Okay, so you were right. The 2 errors both charged to Madeline Spinks. The throwing error at home and the throwing error to lead the inning off. And Madison Banks has a chance to give Georgia Southwestern the lead now. Runners at second and third. Still no outs. Baker throws back to third.
Yes.
Puts it right on the money, and that is huge.
Big time.
The confidence from Sophie Baker and Gier.
Just an absolute
bit
rifle.
Off more than she could chew, and it's right on the body. Parker just a quick swipe.
Yeah.
Runner does still stay at second. Big swing for Madison Banks.
That was a much needed out. I'm going to go ahead and apologize to all the Georgia Southwestern folks that I'm kind of a homer. I am the director of broadcasting here for the Jags, so I mean no disrespect, but I'm trying to be impartial. But if I get a little too cheery, I apologize.
Yeah, for all visiting fans, I try my best to be impartial as well. But again, I attend the university, so it's hard for me to not, Right back to
great
Eden.
ball.
Parker lays out and makes the play.
This has been a crazy inning. I mean, some critical fielding mistakes, and then 2 gems back to back. You've experienced the best of both worlds, best and worst of each.
Yeah, I feel like this entire game has had a lot of chaos. First pitch here to Kendall Hulsman.
Something you were saying earlier, too, is the Canes are taking huge leads, and we saw it bite them there with the snapback through to third, but they're also taking a huge one at second. And one of the things that's often talked about is snapping the throw to shortstop, so you don't want to throw behind the runner at second if the runner's momentum is already headed to third, because they're taught to just steal third. But if you throw to short,
this one grounded over to short. Scaff,
good throw.
Honestly, could have just put the tag on, but makes the throw. And the Jaguars, they allowed 2, but that felt like it could have been a lot worse. They escaped the runner on second and third with no out, jam, allowing 0. And in a quick turn of events, we are all tied at 2 apiece, headed to the bottom of the 5th.
Visit the Georgia Cancer Center and learn more about how you can make an impact, how you can make a difference. Together, we can make an impact both on and off the field. Leading off the 5th inning for the Jaguars. Pitcher number 22, Madeline Spinks.
Maddie Spinks here will lead us off for the bottom of the 5th.
We were talking to the break. This game's had a little bit of everything. This series, in fact, has had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen pretty much everything, it feels like. And it will be Kaylee Johnson coming out for the bottom of the 5th to face Madeline Spinks. First pitch, swung on and missed. But if you're Spinks, no better way to make up for a couple of errors. That one's fouled off, but no way to make up for it than, getting on here and trying to manufacture a run on offense.
Yeah. Trying to leverage her speed here. See, that is such I've always felt like, especially being up 0-2, now 1-2, but that off-speed pitch on a slap hitter is pretty brutal because it's hard for them to lay off.
Yeah, really good job from Spinks,
Yeah.
and actually puts this one into shallow left field.
Yeah.
Pops out of the glove of the left fielder, Ernst.
She made a heck of a dive on that, though.
Yeah, nearly made the play, but it just escapes the glove, and Maddie Spinks reaches first.
I know she's upset with herself. Felt like she should have caught it. That ball was dying in a hurry, and she made a great dive, but just couldn't hang on to it.
Designated player number 4, Kristen.
And
Ezo.
so, like we saw Ezo enter for Gibson, not as a courtesy runner, that is a pinch runner. And now takes a spot as the designated player in the lineup, and this is actually her first at bat of the year. So
That's curious.
yeah, I'm curious if maybe Ansley Gibson tweaked something, so potentially trying to keep her safe there. Ezo does the job though, lays the bunt down, and it's perfect.
Gets a speedy runner to second.
And that won't even go in as an at bat. It's a
Sacrifice,
sac
yeah.
bunt, so
She's still
so technically no at bats. It is a plate appearance, but
0 for 0.
how about that?
So now Parker. Is that Parker?
That is, yep. Eden Parker due up. Also, a lot of odd substitutions and like changes going on.
Uh-oh. Coach Mo is losing her mind right now and talking about a substitution error. I think the Georgia Southwestern coach is.
I mean, she's got to be careful before she. I mean, eventually.
Well, this is what's curious to me.
I mean,
she
she's
said-
in the face of the home plate umpire.
Yeah, I think she might have a reason to be angry. So I think they're arguing about whether Ezo could re-enter the game.
And all the umpires actually going to join. And she's got a word for it. Looks like everybody. And probably well warranted from what we're hearing, if it is true. And she is
Oh, they just tossed her.
going to be tossed from the game. Wow. She tosses the lineup card on her way out. Wow.
Yeah, you hate to see that. As we'll try to get confirmation of what's happening. You hate to see this series kind of end like that. It's been a real competitively played series, and you don't want that kind of issue marring it, but as soon as we get word on what the issue is, we'll let you know. All right, I got word on what the call was. So Ansley was, so they pinch ran for her, and Ezzo entered in for her. And then what coach is arguing is that she never indicated to the umpire that Ansley was coming back in. And since she's the designated player, she didn't go back out in the field because she's the hitter.
Right.
So this is the first time that it would come up. But what the umpire is saying is that he wrote it in his book that Ansley was re-entering. And even though Coach Mo never reported that, and our stats person never reported that, and so Ezzo stayed in the game, and the umpire said he wrote it back. He's arguing that they did report it, and that's why Coach Mo is very upset. And so what that does is that goes down as an out. And
so the sacrifice bunt wiped off the board. All it does is bring Maddie Spinks back to first,
right.
Which I mean,
well,
it
and
is
now
costly.
there's an out. Yeah.
It is costly.
Well,
and obviously you don't have your head coach is now gone, which I mean, sometimes I think it, and I'm not saying I'm not promoting any of what just happened because did she have a reason to be angry? Of course, I'm not going to discredit that, but it kind of sparks a fire on your team. This one's grounded over to third, throw to second is made. And Spinks is retired at second. Eden Parker reaches first.
I think.
But yeah, I think it can light a fire on your team.
Yeah, if you coach Mo, though, there seems to be some kind of communication error with the umpire here. That, I mean, 7 or 9, if they wrote the wrong number down, it's the same. They wrote the correct name, so it's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bush league to be arguing on a technicality that a player batted out of order, even though it's the right player's name at the wrong number. When the numbers are so close, and then so you're already a little irritated over that, but then this happens, and that's potentially a huge turning point in the game where you have just one out and one of your fastest runners at second with one of your best hitters up at the plate. I think it was just kind of the totality of it.
Yeah, 0-2 here to Gilbert is fouled off. Yeah, we saw Coach Mercado stormed off. I don't know how. I'm not exactly sure how it works. Obviously, in like the majors and stuff, they head back to the locker room.
Yeah,
we don't have. I mean, we have the field house. This one lined into left field, right at Ernst, and the Jaguars are retired. Another chaotic inning.
Yeah.
All of that happened just in the 5th inning.
Man, and I haven't worked here very long, but Coach Mo is one of the most level-headed individuals I know, and I haven't seen her lose her cool much. So I know that when she does, she probably feels very justified about it. But Georgia Southwestern seems very fired up, and we've got a tight one going into the 6th.
We've got a doozy. And, I mean, to make it even more important, it's a conference game.
Yeah.
Every conference game matters, especially in a sport like softball where anybody can win on any given day. I mean, obviously that's true for any sport, but some are different than others.
Yeah, and if you think about I guess the particulars of this game. I mean, the last game, the Canes just pretty much dominated the Jags, right? So you tip your cap to them and you say, great game. But this one, the Jags seemed very comfortably ahead. Then they get a run taken off the board, and then a couple errors or a couple, no real hard hit balls in the last inning. But then the Canes get 2 runs, and this game is a totally different ball game than what you felt like it was, and you feel it slipping through your fingers a little bit. And there's some frustration spilling out over that, I think. And I mean, if you're the Canes, it's a good job staying in it and keeping the pressure on the Jags, who seem to be folding a little bit. So we'll see if they can right the ship in this inning.
Check swing there from Griffiths. They say she held up. So count now at 2-0 for Maddie Spinks. If you remember earlier in the game, I mentioned as Maddie Spinks, one of her kind of caveats is when the pressure gets tight, she can get a little loose. Count at 3 balls, no strikes here. She's got to settle in.
Yeah, and the worst thing you can do as a pitcher is walk the leadoff batter of an inning. The statistics are very high that person will score.
Yep.
So.
And 4 balls.
Yeah, that one was tight, but it looked a little high.
Griffiths draws the walk, and it is a leadoff base runner here for the Hurricanes.
The benefit here, though, if you're the Jags, is that you have a really good defensive catcher who is going to keep the base runners honest.
Also, Griffiths does not look like a threat to steal, hasn't had an attempt on the year, so you have that working in your favor as well.
And as we see, she's looking to bunt, though, and if you're Spinks, you might want to throw one high, see if she'll pop one up.
Instead, the bunt is kind of in no man's land again. Peyton Terrell coming across and just kind of kicks the ball.
I can tell what's going through her mind. She's got to turn and snap that throw back, and that's a pretty difficult play for a first baseman. And so she's looking to grab the ball and like pivot her foot and turn, and she just kind of kicks the ball as she's doing it all in one motion. And that's unfortunate. So we have 2 runners on here with no out. Kind of a worst case scenario if you're the Jags.
Simone Gillespie to the plate. Runners on first and second and no outs. Gillespie also with pretty good speed, as we've seen. She does try to go for the bunt. Fouls it back, so 0-2.
I mean, we mentioned the Jags playing small ball, but the Canes are doing it as well. And these are some high leverage moments where you just want to keep applying pressure.
0-2, swung on and missed.
That's a huge
big strikeout from Madeline Spinks. That is huge to have no runners advance, and you get your first out of the inning.
Low and away, got her to chase. That was clutch.
First pitch here, the off speed is in the zone.
That was the slowest called strike.
Yeah, he's kind of throwing me off because I'm like, oh, for sure that's a strike, and then he takes his time. But hey,
maybe it was high.
It comes across for a strike. That one is going to miss.
So she starts her off with a nasty drop ball and then throws off speed low. See if she comes back away or high. No, in and high.
Namazlowski at the plate. With Griffiths at second, that kind of eliminates your speed threat at first with Dansby. and Namizlowski. This one chopped over to Eden Parker. Makes a smart throw, goes on to first. No real play. I say, excuse me. I say it eliminates Dansby, but again, with Dansby, pretty good speed, unable to make the turn. And a big at bat here for Riley Ernst.
This is a critical moment in the game, and if you're Parker, you know, Scaff was covering third, and you think maybe I can get the lead runner, but her momentum.
The first pitch. Sorry to cut you off, but it's in for strike one.
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge to get ahead in the count.
Yeah. So just to finish that thought, Parker was all of her momentum was headed to first. She made the right call to throw there.
0-1 is low in the dirt. Nevaeh Ross also playing like pretty regular depth, at least compared to Sydney Gilbert, which, I mean, you do have a slap hitter, so it's likely going to that side anyway. Scaff throws on to first. Big throw. That play can be a little bit tricky with the runner running in front of you, but Scaff stays controlled. Strong, accurate throw, and the Jaguars escape another jam in the top of the sixth. Bottom of the sixth coming up. We're all tied at 2 apiece.
Leading out for the Jaguars in the bottom of the sixth inning, number 27, Peyton Terrell.
To lead us off here in the crunch time of the game, Peyton Terrell here. And also to mention, Kaylee Johnson has been spectacular on the mound once again. Oh, 1 to Terrell, gonna miss low. This one skied into left field. Nice play made on it, though, by Riley Ernst, and Peyton Terrell is retired. Good swing on it.
Right there, number 21, Nevaeh Ross.
First pitch to Nevaeh Ross. The check swing appeal says she did not go. So 1-0 count to Ross. We've seen the speed of Nevaeh Ross come into play a couple times here today. This one right back up the middle. And there it is again. Nevaeh Ross beats it at first. Likely going to be ruled as an error. But Nevaeh Ross reaches first.
Yeah, that's like there are unforced errors and enforced errors. And when you know you have somebody with her speed on the run, it causes you to have to hasten your thought process.
First pitch swinging from Kaylin Scaff. Oh, 1. Gonna miss high. I've mentioned the speed of Nevaeh Ross. It'd be rude of me to assume she doesn't take off here. Instead, Scav swinging, and the throw is errant. Nevaeh Ross, and it rolls all the way to the wall. Nevaeh Ross rounding third, comes home to score. They're going to hold Kaylin Scaff at third base. What a mistake from the freshman, Erin Garland.
You know, I hate to say karma, but that is just not a throw you make when you have the runner that you have at first. It would have been a bang-bang throw. I know she's trying to preserve or get the lead runner out, but the percentage is low. If you go ahead and you throw to first, you get the second out of the inning, you take your chances with the runner at second with 2 outs. But to throw that, now you allow anything in the outfield that gets by is going to score Ross. And now you have a runner on third with just 1 out. That is a costly error.
And not only that, Scaff stands at third.
Right.
As a potential 2-run lead.
And it's interesting to know what the Jags do here. Yeah, Miles is speedy. She's also a good bunter. And you can kind of do like a safety squeeze here where, you know, Scaff's running down the line and Miles bunts. We'll see what happens. But
you call it safety. We call it suicide. Yeah. Because you're all out to the plate.
Well, it's in the safety squeeze, you're not going all out. You're kind of making sure it's hit first, and then you go.
Right, and you're kind of in foul ground when you get your lead.
Oh, see, they were doing it.
The throw comes back. It gets away from the third baseman, and Ernst has no throw. Kaylin Scaff comes home to score. And like you mentioned, exactly like you said, they tried it. Even though the bunt was unsuccessful, it warrants an errant throw from the catcher.
And I was going to mention, that's the danger of the safety squeeze is if you don't connect with it, you can leave your base runner out to dry. And a good throw would have had her at third. She was definitely going to be out. But fortunately for the Jags, it wasn't a good throw. It got by the third baseman, and they were able to score on that error. And so very fortuitous in this inning for the Jags.
Yeah, it looks like, I hate to say everything evened out, but essentially it kind of did.
Yeah.
You had the 2 mistakes from the Jags. Now you have the 2 costly mistakes coming from the Hurricanes. Puts the Jags back on top 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Chesney Miles puts this one into right field. Right at Simone Gillespie for the second out of the inning. Man, what a game.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it's had a little bit of everything. The thing that's difficult for you, if you're, cheering for the Canes or if you're their team, is you kind of have these unfortunate errors that have happened and the Jags have gone up 2, and you've demonstrated that you can score runs and come back, but you're down to your last 3 outs now, and now the pressure's really on in the top of the 7th. So we'll see what they're able to do, but
quickly 0-2 the count here to Sam Tenner. Takes the off-speed low. But yeah, exactly like what you said. I mean, a bit of everything. Both teams have had their chances to capitalize. Both have kind of squandered them, as Sam Tenner, a rare strikeout,
Yeah, did you say that's like our third of the year?
Number 3. There is number 3 in around
That's
50
wild.
at bats. So Sam Tenor down on strikes, but not before the Jaguars score 2 on a couple costly errors from the Hurricanes. They come back up in the top of the 7th, down to their last hope. They've got to at least try to push it to the bottom to get the Jaguars back up to the plate.
I think we'll go ahead and stay on as this inning transitions. Darren, do you know how hard it is for me to even say the word Hurricanes as a Florida State alum?
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
It's really difficult for me, but all in good fun.
On the bright side, I mean, the Seminoles, not going to say they had a better year than the Hurricanes in basketball, but I think they got to a point where y'all were pretty equal.
Hey, we had a brand new coach this season, and I think the future of our basketball team is bright. Can't say the same thing for our football team, but.
And this might put a smile on your face. UVA beating the Hurricanes by 22.
Always.
Just last
the
night.
Miami Hurricanes, not the.
Oh yeah.
Not these Hurricanes.
Not these Hurricanes. These Hurricanes. I actually like Georgia Southwestern as a university. There a lot of success in a lot of different sports. We saw the baseball Georgia Southwestern Hurricanes just recently beating then number 1 Tampa, as this one's right back up the middle, leadoff single.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're the Canes. Just get the leadoff runner on.
That is Amelia Angier. And flipping it back to the top of the lineup, you get your best hitters up. We still got a ball game here.
She has some speed too, so this game's far from over.
They try to lay the bunt down, unsuccessful. Erin Garland, as we mentioned, good speed herself, so a good bunt here could put the Jags in a tricky situation and force them to make a play. Right back up the middle, Sam Tenor off the glove. Hard hit ball, so hard to fault Tenor, but it just got by her.
That's one she needed to make, unfortunately.
That has a chance to be 2 with how hard it was hit. Instead, it's 2 runners on for Madison Banks.
That ball was smoked, though.
Typically, we see Tenor make those plays,
Yeah.
so to see it not being made is kind of...
It's very possible that she knew she was going to second, so she picked her head up a little bit, and the ball got under her, knowing where she was going. So we got ourselves a jam here.
That one gets away from the catcher, Baker. Both runners advance on the wild pitch.
So now tying runs in scoring position with nobody out.
You say that, and we've seen the Jaguars escape this jam already this game. Just a couple. Was that last inning? A couple innings ago?
I can't tell anymore. This game has been bananas.
I believe it was the 5th when they scored the 2, and they had the 2 runners on. They got the back pick at 3rd, and then eventually that runner got stranded. So, call me crazy. I believe Angier, the lady at 3rd, was actually the one who got back picked by Sophie Baker back in that 5th inning.
Huh.
So, looks like she gets a second opportunity. Banks grounds over to Tenor, throws on to first, and does the job.
That was an effective out right there. She advanced. She got the run in, advanced the runner to 3rd, the tying run to 3rd.
Yeah, Banks, who has had, Georgia Southern transfer, so high expectations, of course. Entered the series red hot, batting .394. this game has had some trouble kind of doing the job, but does it and no better time to do it. Runner now, tying runner, stands at third.
Interesting defense here for the Jags. They look content to trade a run for an out. They're not really playing in. So they're not playing for a play at the plate.
Now, with it being Kendall Hulsman, who already one-time PBC Player of the Week, would it be crazy to just kind of pitch around her, give up first base? I mean, in softball, harder to turn a double play typically. This one gets away from Sophie Baker, and number 21, Aaron Garland, going to score. So everything that I just said, just throw out the window, yeah. As tying run comes across, and now you're trying to prevent Hulsman from even reaching base with the count at 3-0.
Man, credit to the Canes. They've got some guts and just not quitting.
Yeah, no fight. They make if they were to make a mistake, they've erased it.
Yeah, all fight. Yeah.
That one right down Broadway for strike one. And if you're Kendall Hulsman, it's got to be right there again for you.
Yeah.
One of the best hitters in the PBC gets a hold of this one into right field, hangs up for Nevaeh Ross, and she makes the play.
Ross has great speed out there, so anything that kind of hangs up, she's going to get under. That's a huge out for the Jags, especially, and great job by Maddie there, down 3-0 in the count and able to get back and get the out.
I'm a bit surprised to see her still in the game. That almost makes me just kind of assume that Anza Gibson got banged up on that play.
I don't think it's possible. But Maddie's pitched very well. I think her defense has let her down a little bit. I don't think the Canes have really hit a ball real hard. That one up the middle that got under tenor was good. I'm not trying to disrespect Canes, but you're kind of looking at, as a coach, you're like, okay, are they seeing the ball? Are they getting a good bat on it? There's some shots, but she's still hitting her spots. She's still locating well and her changing speeds well.
Yeah, that's a really good pitch right there.
Yeah.
1-1 count to get it to 1-2 here, 2 outs. Canes looking to keep the momentum high. Pitch from Spinks. Tries to get a chase out of Madison Griffiths. Unsuccessful. Griffith sends this one into center field, right at Chesney Miles, and the play is made. So the Canes strike back for 2 in the top of the 7th, and the Jags are going to have a chance to walk this off, or we're headed to extras.
So you say the Canes strike back. Does that mean this is the inning for the return of the Jags? Jedi? See what I did there?
Yeah. Star Wars reference for those
some dad jokes.
who didn't catch it.
My kids would be rolling their eyes right now. Like, oh gosh.
I was a fan of like the older Star Wars movies. The newer ones, I'm kind of. I don't know if it's just because I'm older now and it just doesn't really hit the same, but.
I liked them.
Like the older ones, like the George Lucas, that's the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were pretty good. But.
All right, so this is an interesting scenario we find ourselves in. This game was nothing like the first game yesterday. But the score is that we're tied, and the Jags were down to it was tied, and we're able to walk it off in that game. And they're facing the same pitcher, so we'll see if they have a little bottom of the 7th magic in them today. But it's been a wild game.
And look who's standing.
Yeah.
Look who's standing on deck for the Jaguars. It's Ansley Gibson. So she will be re-entering this time. This one's popped up into shallow left field. Nearly
What
trouble,
a catch.
but a great play on the run by the shortstop. That is Laney Dansby. What a play.
Yeah, I mean, tip your cap to that. Like, tremendous run or read on that and run. And in a game that's been a little messy defensively, that's a huge play.
So Gibson does re-enter.
Well, and I think that was the argument. And when Izzo was in a game, the umpire was saying it was supposed to be Gibson, that Gibson was reported to re-enter. And that was...
Which is so interesting. I mean, again, the rules around it are they're just a bit confusing. I mean, and we even see Coach Mercado and the home plate umpire getting into it.
Oh, yeah.
They are professionals at what they do. This one's lined into right field, right at Gillespie.
Well, and Coach Mo, she said that she did not signal that Gibson was coming back in the game, which, as we talked about, is a little more difficult since she's a designated player.
Right. I think the whole optics of it are just a bit strange, but this is a big at-bat right here. Eden Parker, who leads the Jaguars in homers, comes up bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. If there's anybody you want at the plate, right now it's Eden Parker.
Yeah.
Quiet so far today in game 1, hitless.
Started her off with a tremendous pitch, too, off speed.
And a really good spot there. Doesn't get the call from the umpire. So 2-1 count here to Eden Parker.
I think that dropped low.
The 2-1. Parker gets a hold of it, drives it into left field for a base hit. Jaguar hopes stay alive here. And Parker reaches first.
That was just a great hit. She's in front of it and able to take it down the line.
I believe we'll be seeing a
pinch runner, I'm sure. What you're allowed to do once for a hit, as we've learned,
That's true.
you know.
Yeah, that is true.
And I'm sure Parker will come back into the game.
Actually looks like a pinch hitter. It's going to be Kelsey Moody.
All right.
Who grabs the
I
bat
stand corrected.
in place of Sydney Gilbert. I would expect Kelsey Moody to take left field defensively as well, as that is typically, she shifts around the outfield a bit. Moody in the box here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Eden Parker at first. First pitch from Kaylee Johnson. Finds his own for strike 1. What a game here in the rubber match. That one runs high, gets away from Johnson. And like you said, I am kind of surprised to see no pinch runner.
Might be different if it's less than 2 outs, but
that one gets a piece of the plate. What a spot from Kaylee Johnson for strike 2.
And this is a tough spot for Moody, too. I mean, you've been on the bench and, you know, haven't warmed up. in a high leverage situation.
Slaps this one over to third. Nice play on the hop. Kelsey Moody beats it at first. Aaron Garland made a nice play off the hop. I thought it was a good throw, but Moody with the speed.
I thought that might have been out, but
what a time. Peyton Terrell to the plate here. And we will see a pinch runner now. It's almost got to be for Eden Parker, right? Yeah, looking at the replay here, it looks like pretty close play, but it looks like Moody was probably out.
Yeah,
Again,
that's
heat of the moment. It's tough to make that call. We have no replay.
We don't have official instant replay out here.
Right.
We're just kind of playing it back here in the booth, but that's a tough call.
And Ayala Howard does enter.
The Jags have 2 out life here.
Do you ever take off here and steal third base or attempt it?
No.
Okay. I mean, a base hit likely scores Howard anyway, so. Terrell puts this one into left field, but it is going to hang up. And we have extras here at Jaguar Field. Jaguars nearly have an opportunity to walk it off, but it'll have to wait if they get another one. We head to the top of the 8th, all square at 4 apiece.
The 8th inning for Georgia Southwestern. Shortstop number 7, Lane Dansby.
First pitch in the zone for strike 1 here, top of the 8th inning. That one grounded over to Eden Parker. One hop, makes the throw, and one out.
That's a critical first out there for the Jags. Heck of a play there by Scaff. It's a good hit up the middle, strong. She's able to scoop it up and get her out. So we're here, 2 quick outs for the Canes in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, very good work from Spinks on the mound, inducing a lot of weak contact, keeping the ball in the infield, which he's done a lot this game anyway.
Yeah, we were looking at the pitching statistics in between innings, and through 7 innings, she only had 66 pitches, which is very efficient. 4 runs, but only 2 of them are earned, and 7 hits, but nothing particularly hard. So it's one of those in a 4-4 game. I mean, I think all 3 pitchers have. I mean, Bird's only pitched like 1.5 innings, but
Yep, right.
they've all pitched pretty well. It's just been weird, like just the happenings of the game. So
I do think now looking back on it, as this one's
That
lined
was hit
into
hard,
right
yeah.
field, Ross would have thrown it to first, nearly made the play
Yeah.
again. Nevaeh Ross gets aggressive and it nearly paid off.
Left fielder number 3, Riley.
It does go in as a base hit, though, to right field for Namislowski.
that was a great hit there. Ball on the outside part of the plate, takes it its natural direction and lines it.
Ernst in the box again in another high-pressure situation. Two-0 count here to Ernst. Good spot there from Spinks. Gets a piece there. Count goes to 2-2. Likely see Spinks kind of play into that slap. Probably trying to get her to chase here.
Yeah,
Which he does. Slaps it right back to Maddie Spinks. The underhand toss. Strong top of the 8th for the Jaguars defensively.
I have just been really impressed with her resilience today, Maddie Spinks' resilience. A number of times, maybe 3 or 4 times in this game, where she's lost hitters and maybe been a 2-0, 3-0 in the count at pretty critical moments, and she's battled back every time to record an out, and that's just gutsy. Just a good job by her to keep fighting the count and not lose those hitters. And those are the kind of little things that can cost you runs in the course of a game, and she's been able to hold them off.
Not as easy as she's making it look, that's for sure.
No.
We see it all the time where in a high-pressure situation, it's hard. I mean, It's hard to pitch and be accurate when all that pressure is on you. Everybody's on you, watching you. You have to deliver.
Yeah, particularly when your defense has kicked it around a little bit, including you.
Exactly,
I mean, as we saw that last play, instead of throwing it from the pitcher's mound, she ran over and underhand tossed it.
Right.
Didn't want to take that risk, and which I don't blame her. It's the good play, but these are it's game 3. It's a conference game, as you said. It's a pressure situation, so we'll see if the Jags can get something going here in the bottom of the 8th.
Nevaeh Ross here to lead us off. Also led us off bottom of the 6th, where the Jaguars took the 4-2 lead at that time.
This is the hitter you want on base.
Especially leading off the inning. Nevaeh Ross, another one of those who...
Oh, hitter. Yeah.
That one got
She
a
didn't
piece
go
of
around.
Nevaeh Ross. Checked the swing, and it hit her on the elbow, it appears. We are going to have, of course, an appeal. It's always, see, those type of calls are always tough because it wasn't called until Nevaeh Ross signaled
Yeah.
that it hit her, you know?
Well, and the umpires do have the discretion that if you don't get out of the way and you lean into it, that they can call it a strike.
Yeah.
But she number one, it looked like she wasn't trying to lean into it. She was a little fooled by the pitch.
Yeah, it almost looked like the motion of her swing was
Yeah,
starting.
and
then,
the bat certainly didn't cross the plane of the plate, so it's not like a check swing.
But man, that's
huge.
It may not seem huge, but the call itself is big. With the speed of Ross, Kaylin Scaff lays down. You can't get a better bunt.
Oh, she's safe.
And she's safe at first.
That.
What a job by Kaylin Scaff.
And Miles has got to be bunting here, almost assuredly.
I mean, I'd be willing to put my entire bank account on it.
I don't know if I would do that.
I would. When does Chesney Miles not lay one down in this situation, or at least attempt it? Especially with the speed on base.
So here's the counter argument to that. She is a slap hitter. If you can fool the defense into thinking that you're going to bunt, so they're going to probably pinch the corners in to try and crash down to get her on the bunt. She is fast, so there is pressure there. She could potentially slap it, and with the speedy runner Ross at second, that could get a run in. If she does sacrifice, then you're getting an out there potentially,
right?
Trading the out to get the runner, advance the runners. So I mean,
I understand. Yeah.
So there is a little chess being played here. They are bringing the corners in,
as well as
they're playing a little.
It's very odd to see. I mean, but the bunt's perfect. Nevaeh Ross, I almost thought she was going to attempt to go home. But instead, Slide kind of threw her off the bag.
Well, that was one of those, like, it was bunted hard in the air. It was kind of like a bunt line drive.
Yeah, like it was more forceful.
And it was really kind of unfortunate if you're third base because you're charging in and it got past you. So anyway, that puts the Canes in a real pressure situation. Now their infield has to be in, and they're with the winning run, nobody out at third base. And they've got to play in and come home.
The top of the lineup and Sam Tenner, I'd argue you don't want anybody at the plate here more than Sam Tenner.
Oh.
Well.
Ross does a great job there, not getting doubled off at third.
Yeah, I was going to say Tenner's bat-to-ball skills and just ability to put it in place, like, next to none.
And ideally, you're right. She doesn't strike out and she makes contact, but in an ideal world, you want that ball on the ground. You don't want anything line drive or in the air because you've got a really quick runner at third. The infield's in, so they're not really going to turn two. And
sorry to cut you off,
go ahead.
But we do have a pinch hitter entering in. It's going to be for Maddie Spinks, and it's Tegan Henson. Tegan Henson, who was pretty much a mainstay early on in the year, has kind of fallen out of the starting order, at least in recent times. But Henson does have a homer, 3 RBIs. and a double as well. So great pop in the bat of Tegan Henson. Big swing and miss there. I don't question
That's a little surprising to me because this is the perfect scenario for a safety squeeze again. And Spinks can bunt and slap. So I'm a little surprised by that, particularly when you're bringing somebody in who's cold and hasn't seen this pitcher who's been real effective.
The 1-1, good off speed from Johnson, but it misses low. I agree with what you're saying to an extent. I'd say probably play for the slap if you are going to let Spinks hit. I think the bunt is kind of tough because you have the force just at home, which it makes it trouble on the defense. This one's popped up on the infield, and play is made by Dansby at shortstop. So the pinch hit opportunity for Henson doesn't come through. And it brings up Ansley Gibson, your team leader in average, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th with the bases loaded.
How hilariously ironic would it be with the substitution snafu earlier if Ansley ends up being the one that wins this game for us?
I don't want to sound like a homer, but that would be a great ending. That one's off the glove of the catcher, and Nevaeh Ross makes it home safely. So we don't even have to get into the drama. Nevaeh Ross takes advantage of the passed ball and wins the game and wins the series.
And that's brutal if you're the Canes. The first and third game of this series decided on a walk-off wild pitch / pass ball.
Wow. Man.
And you're kicking yourself. Kudos to the Jags for fighting, but, if you're a Canes fan and a Canes player, you just feel like you let 2 get away from you. Gibson does get that RBI, by the way, so.
And look who's back on the field. Coach Mercado back on the field in the final handshakes. Wow.
What a bananas game.
I mean, man, it doesn't get crazier. That's one of the wildest games. I've been here for now a year and a half. That takes the cake of any game I've ever seen. So
fun game.
What a game. The Jaguars take it. They move to 5-1 in conference play. Georgia Southwestern now 1-5. And the Jaguars take the series